Okay, just let me do one of these things with a, man, I'm tangled up in fucking wires. This is a bizarre little mic, because it's monotone. I was trying it on the laptop and it works in one ear only. Anyway, today is Easter. It's Easter Monday, the 13th of April. The 13th of April. And let me clip this on here. There we go. Let's just leave it there. The 13th of April. Monday. Me and Flo had a big conversation today about spiritual stuff. Trying to improve as people. And then tonight I was trying to record something, and these headphones that I'm wearing, the microphone didn't work. And I couldn't understand why it didn't work. I was trying to use OBS. And it was freaking me out because it was one of those problems where I just could not see any possible solution. It's connected. It says it's connected, but it wasn't working. And I thought to myself, but I've used this microphone before and it did work, but it turns out I mustn't have used it before, because what the problem was, it's the same problem I had with the lapel mics. It's got what's called a TSSR connection, if that's what you call it, and it should be a TSR, because there's slightly two different connections. Basically, for my laptop, I need the headphones that have got the audio one and the mic one, two separate ones, two separate sockets. So it turned out that's what it was. I'm so glad I didn't either rip these headphones to pieces with the frustration, thinking that it's broke. And I actually tried it on my phone, my Poco phone, and it works on the phone. It even works when you're recording video. It's like, it's the first time I could get anything to do that. But I was also glad that I didn't fuck up my laptop, because it's the kind of thing that could make you go into the files within the files within the files in the settings, and you could start kind of doing all kinds of shit with your laptop, making it worse and not doing it any good, and not really causing any solutions. So in the end I ordered an adapter, and I'm confident that's going to solve the problem, and also mean that I'll be able to use the lapel mics on the laptop, because it's just that simple, really. You can clearly see that the little piece that plugs in to the socket, it's different. The new ones have got like 4 little marks, and the old ones have only got 3. Anyway, that was something that was just, it's been puzzling me for months, and I think that's the solution to that. 15 euros, 10 euros and 5 euros for the shipping. God, my keyboard looks incredibly dusty. Where does the dust all come from? For fuck's sake. So yeah, today was a good day. It was a good day for me and Flo with the talking we did, and tonight ended up good as well, because I managed to record something, and I managed to find out what the problem is with these. Well, there's not really any problem with them, they're just not adapted to the laptop. I'm now playing chess. We're still in the middle of this kind of lockdown. Which doesn't really bother me too much. I find myself adjusting. I mean, it suits me. It doesn't really bother me. Today, I thought today was a good day, you know. I got up at like 1 o'clock. Well, actually, I think I got up around midday. Sometimes I don't get up till around 1. And then I don't rush. I take my time having tea, talking to Flo till around 3 o'clock, and then I go for a walk, and then I feed the dog, and then make the dinner, and I come in here to start playing around with stuff at around 7 or even 8, if I can help it. And then I'm fine. I'm here for the evening, and then I go to bed, and so the day goes well. And yes, I think that's about it. I'm up to number 29 here. So that's all for now. This one should sound better than some of the other ones because I'm using this lapel mic. I haven't been using it on some of the other entries here, but that's all for now. This Monday, the 13th of April, Easter Monday 2020. Good night. Well, trying something else as I'm out here walking. I'm trying the little lapel mic, especially. It seems especially for this little digital device. I can hear Tuco barking in the distance. Maybe I should have taken the keys for the Connemara. Anyway, never mind. The idea is to walk through the woods and then turn around and come back like I've done the last time. Today is the 13th, maybe the 14th. It's Easter Monday. I think it's the 13th. Easter Monday. And things are a bit slow today. I got up at 12:30 and I've been just sitting around fiddling with my phone, really looking through things, trying to get an ad blocker to work, which I haven't managed. It's just seems awfully complicated on a phone. You don't just download the ad blocker, you have to do other things with it. You have to use the browser of the ad blocker, and then things start to get a bit complicated. I was trying to do that, and then it's asking me to type in my passwords and stuff to get into my Google account. And I don't like doing that. I don't like messing around with that Google account, because if you forget the password, or you get kind of confused, you type in the wrong thing, you can end up locking yourself out of Google, which is pretty much locking yourself out of everything for me, because it's like that's all I use is Google and YouTube and Gmail. So in the end I have disinstalled this ad blocking app, and I think I'm going to just put up with the ads. That seems to be the simplest solution. It's pretty easy on the laptop. You just download the ad blocker thing and it just works immediately. And I guess that's more important than on the phone. Anyway, such little... When I listen back to this, I'm going to be like, such a shame that he sounds troubled by these idiotic little things. And I do feel troubled. I feel irritated by this and that. But it's that abstract irritation. I'm irritated because of the microphone not working yesterday. I'm irritated because I could have hooked up the laptop by thinking I've got to rearrange all kinds of things to try and get my mic to work, not realizing that there's nothing wrong with the laptop or anything else. It's just that the socket for that particular set of headphones doesn't work in my laptop, and it's kind of irritating and annoying that nobody, and not the product themselves, no one's mentioned this, that there's been a change in the sockets. Instead of saying, yeah, buy a lapel mic, it works with everything. It fucking doesn't. I'll buy the headphones that I got with the mic, it works with everything. They don't. But these are all really stupid irritations. And I think the problem is, or the fact is, I'm just irritated. Maybe because I haven't eaten, or because I don't know, the reason is a mystery, isn't it? I don't know why. I just know that I'm sticking things to it to give the reason, because it's very important to have a reason. But I was irritated since yesterday, and I've got all these things. There's something untidy. There's something like a feeling of forgetting something. It's like all these tools and these cameras and recording devices, and I've said this before, and a lack of any proper idea for a nice video that could... Because when I find a video to make that I really want to make, it seems to cure me of a lot of things. It seems to cure me of the irritation. It seems to cure me of any kind of sense of boredom. And then I get down to it and I really enjoy it. I enjoy using the Power Director. I enjoy the editing. I enjoy looking for the sound. And I've got all this stuff that I could upload videos all the time for my own pleasure. Honestly, I've got so much stuff that I could have a go at, you know. But I'm waiting for some idea to come along. Which I'm sure will happen at some point, and then I'll get down to it. There's also a sense, I suppose, just thinking about now, of all the effort I went to get the Grand Theft Auto and the recording software in the game, you know, and I wanted nothing more for a long time than getting this. I went through all the effort of downloading the game to my laptop, paying for it, taking hours to download it, and then studying this recording software. And I know I did a few videos, but that just stopped. Didn't do any more, never looked at the game again. The sense of waste. Red Dead Redemption, it's beautiful graphics, it's a beautiful game. And you think I could have, even without the editor, I could have managed to put together some kind of video. But no, I never played it again. The Ghost Recon, I seem to be enjoying that. I had some fun hiding, trying to set up an ambush. And the fact that you can hide and it's just very immersive. No, stop playing that. And I probably completed about 3% of the game. There's like so much to do in that game. And I wanted to get good at that game, I remember thinking. I wanted, because I thought the better you get, the more effort you put in, the more you'll get out of that game. The way you could send the 3 other soldiers off. The way your equipment got better, the way you had the drone. There's an awful lot in that game, you know. I guess I can always come back to these things in the future. There's a point to that, I suppose, about thinking the next thing is going to be the thing that cures you, and of course it never is, never does. You just go from one thing to the next. It's strange, this, because it brings me all the way back maybe 40 years ago when I got the stylophone. And it was exactly the same feeling, you know. I got this thing, it was a lovely device, but I couldn't play it. And I felt so irritated that I couldn't play it, because I just felt, God, it's such a waste. I distinctly remember the same feeling I have now about it. Which means the feelings we're talking about they're there since the very beginning. And that's irritating. The fact that you've got an irritating feeling that you've been grappling with for 40 years and you don't seem to know how to deal with it. The fact that you let all the little shitty things about, you know, all the stuff you've got, you let that affect you somehow, with the thought that you should be using the stuff more constructively rather than having everything lying around. That's it's a nonsense problem, you know. It's a ridiculous problem. I'm looking at the lavender here. We're nearly at the house, the old house. But there's a couple and a kid in front of me. Let them move on a bit. not a pleasant feeling, that irritation. Not knowing where it comes from, and this false but very strong thought pattern that says, if only you could do a certain thing, it would go away. If only you could use all the stuff you have to put together something, then it would go away. I have to bring time to it, like I go on about that, because I've always done lots of stuff, videos. None of them has been in any way that changing. None of them have been that important. They all seemed great when I was doing them and I showed them off to people. And I kind of think, this is the best one I've ever done. Like the ones for Grand Theft Auto, I thought were very good. I put a lot of effort into the music from Bullet and all that, but they just kind of go up there and they have their moment and they fade like everything else. I haven't done any video that has been, I haven't found any format that's been, you know, they're super healing for a little bit, but then they disappear into kind of obscurity. So doing another video is not really, not a big deal. It's just, it should be just seen as a distraction for an hour or two, that's all. Nothing else. Ever since I don't know when, I've been looking for a format that I could copy, and I could do the same type of format with an equal amount of enjoyment every time, you know. But I tend to jump from one thing to another. It's all very, each thing I do is very different. It's just an irritated feeling now. It means nothing. It's somewhere in the gut. And although it certainly seems linked, I know it's not linked to any of these thoughts I'm having. This narrative about producing videos and using things has got nothing to do with the feeling I'm having. This is where all the confusion of cause and effect happens. I think if only I could put together something using this and that, make a video, I would feel better. But feeling the way you are now, or feeling better, has nothing to do with what you do. It has nothing to do with what you do. Most of the time it's just there. And the thing is, when your feeling lifts, so will your inspiration, motivation, and you will do things. Ideas will roll in, but when you feel like this, there is no ideas. There's nothing going to roll in because you feel like this. This is not time for that kind of doing stuff. It's I don't know, it's just like a catch-22. You think, if only I could do something on a video, it'd make me feel better. And the fact that you can't makes you feel worse. And you don't realize that they're not connected. You don't have to do anything. The feeling you have is not linked to anything. It couldn't be, because it would be preposterous. There's no reason for me to feel this way because of videos I upload or don't. Who cares? I don't care. I can't be fooled into thinking that that's a legitimate reason, because I just know that's not the case at all. I'm fine uploading videos whenever I want. And I know I'm perfectly fine just sitting around doing nothing all day. It doesn't matter. So I'm kind of too psychoanalytical to believe that bullshit. And like I say, the irony is that at a time like this, it's not a time to upload videos. It's not a time to be thinking like that. You're not in the humor to do that. But then you start thinking I should, and it leads to this vicious circle. Because you end up making yourself feel worse because you're not doing something, but the true reason you're not doing it is because it's not time to do it. It's not important. These thought circles. Anyway, so what's the solution? What's the solution? What should I not think of anything, or what should I, how should I plan my evening? Bonjour. How should I plan my evening with this feeling? Now, the one thing I can definitely say about this feeling is that it's definitely not past. My God, they all do. They just come and go. It's all just the point. They're in flux. I'm in flux. And I can look at, it's easier looking at another person. I can look and flow and say everything seems negative now, and the isolation seems negative and all the rest. But that's just because your mood is negative. It's nothing to do with it. So things seem negative now. My computer room seems negative now. All the stuff I'm not using seems negative now. The reason? Because I feel negative. It's nothing to do with those things. It's so easier to see it in someone else than it is in yourself. I can see it in Flo, and I know, Flo, next week you'll be saying that this lockdown is great because you're enjoying the freedom and you'll be painting because it's the time to do that. Now you're depressed, you have to get through it. It's probably a time to just grab onto something simple, some simple task, and do that. There you go. I think I've just given myself the answer. I should, because it's been there, I should simply do a video of me playing Transport Fever, beginner, just do it, just to do it, just to have a little something going on and focused on. And it's just the slightest effort it would be to do this video. You've already done the Wogan one, which maybe you could condense and try and upload. But you could certainly do the Transport Fever one. You could just sit down and you have to concentrate on talking and starting a town in 1950 in the desert. And you talk all you want. And that's it. That's a mild task that you should enjoy. Or you could take the stuff you've got already and you could use some filters and things and see what you can do with it. Basically something that's just going to distract you. Going to put you down in front of a chair, in front of the computer. Very easy, very gentle kind of task. Nothing stressful. See what comes out of it. That's what you should do. You put yourself there, you put the things around you, and you say, I would like to create something now because I think it's going to help make me feel better. You don't have to have any pre-planned ideas. You just go in there with some clips, come up with something that's 2 minutes long and upload it. You'll feel better. And then do a video with that, record it. And don't think about the facts of, there's a million of these who's going, don't think about that at all. Just do it so that your channel has something else on it. And most importantly, because the process of you talking, like you're doing now, it's helpful. It's a kind of cure in itself. And get back to what you would say to somebody else. You should do that more often, because it's very easier to see the picture when it's somebody else than when it's you. So imagine Flo on the stage you're in and the advice you'd give her. That's what you should do. The advice. And the advice to Flo would be, you should start doing a little painting. Just gently. Get into a task. Horses. That's what you should do. Right now there's a big gust of wind blowing. I wonder how this microphone is picking this up. I'm sure you're picking the wind up. Sure? Creativity you can do on there. Even now I have a way of I can download any piece of music from YouTube and convert it into an MP3 file or MP4. It works nearly all the time, and then straight away you've got it available to use on the video you're doing. Everything I'm saying, all these things, they're tiny distractions. Human life is just like groups of tiny distractions that keep us moving through the day till we get to the night time and we get tired enough and we sleep. And when we sleep, it's slightly different. You don't need any distractions anymore. You kind of switch off and some automatic pilot comes on. But when I listen back to these things, that strikes me a lot of the time as the contents with the passing of time. They're insignificant. And sometimes I listen to myself talking about some stuff, and I can tell I'm obsessing about little things. And I think, God, it's kind of sad that that guy is just so stuck in triviality. Stuck in triviality. he seems to be irritated and worried over something that's very small, very petty. Even though I'm aware now that, like I said earlier, the irritation and these states have got nothing to do with the stuff going through your mind, with the narration. I've always known that, but it's difficult, very difficult, to put that theory into practice, you know? To actually untangle yourself from it, to actually start to feel a lift where you realize, oh, I'm starting to feel a bit better, or I'm realizing that that stuff in my mind has nothing to do with anything. It's so kind of pointless thinking like that, because it doesn't matter. And in an hour's time, you know, the conversation will fade into obscurity and meaninglessness. Like when I listen back to all the audio vlogs I did in February or January, there's plenty which go over stuff that... So what do you do when you get locked into it's kind of a small loop? You can tell when something is irritating and something is not. Some thoughts are more irritating, or at least they seem to fit the scenario, even if you know they don't really have anything to do with the feeling can be independent. For instance, I find if I'm going through narrations about the transport fever, then I like that. It's kind of the same kind of nonsense, but it's more relaxing to give my views to myself on that game. You know, if I have some point to make about it. Corner of my mind, I thought that was somebody using a chainsaw in the far distance. And then, as he started to get nearer, I was like, is it a bird somewhere? And then even nearer, I thought maybe it's something, a vehicle or something. And then it's like a guy. It was like a dream when you hear a noise and you're woken up by it. And in the dream the noise of a ship or something, but then you wake up and it's your alarm clock. There's some meaning in that somewhere. I can't quite figure out what it is yet. I guess you could say that I thought that that was a chainsaw in the distance, and I could have been convinced it was. I put it together, but it's not at all. The narrative was wrong, in the same way perhaps that the narrative in my mind about, oh, if only I could do this or that. That narrative is wrong. It's been built up over decades. Ever since that fucking stylophone days, I think back. If I could go back in time, the one thing I would do is I would not have got anybody to buy me that damn thing. That would be one thing I'd change. Do you still want the stylophone for Christmas? You were going on about that for... No, I don't. I really don't. Because it's just going to bring me 6 months of fucking irritation. Thinking back, actually, it's funny I didn't just think of my own music. I don't know why I didn't think like, well, you can't play anything. Can't you just come up with your own stuff? Try and come up with a tune. It's bizarre that never struck me. In my youth, it never struck me that I could come up with my own piece of music. Never ever crossed my mind. as far as I'm aware. I constantly thought the only way is to do something you know, that people know. The only point is to play something people will go, oh, that's the Beatles song. Or, oh, I'll play David Bowie or something, you know. I could have come up with my own stuff, and then if we'd still had some kind of a tape recorder, I could have taped my own music. Never crossed my mind. Maybe because back then I knew that would just be shit. And now that I'm older, my ego's growing bigger, and I think, no, it'll be good. I can do anything. Anyway, so the irritation. So I can get back to doing little things. Am I wasting my time? Yes, everybody is wasting their time. Some do things that are, I guess, more beneficial to man than others. But in the end, most of us spend most of our time just sitting around trying to occupy ourselves, trying to pass the day. There isn't any guru can help you with that stuff. You have to do it yourself. That's why I was saying to Flo, I can read books, but they really are just a distraction like everything else. They can be a very good distraction, and they can add a bonus bit of inspiration for a few days. If you're very lucky, maybe they give you a thought that you can hang on to forever, but most of it is just a distraction. As soon as you put the book down and you go out there, you're like this, like I'm like this. I was like this when I was 7. This is kind of the essence of the character, I suppose they'd say in drama school. The essence of the character. A quest. A searching for the next thing to do. A searching for the next thing to do. And wanting a lift from the next thing, like wanting to feel inspired. Yeah. That's what you want. Buongiorno. Buongiorno. Why are you standing still for? Joe? That guy looks like a pervert. That's terrible, isn't it? Anybody that shows any interest in playing in with the child, playing with the child, big difference between playing with and in. Anyway, we jump to that conclusion instead of saying, isn't that wonderful for the kid? Probably maybe the dad, a fine man, and he's having fun with his child. He's remained childish himself. So what do you do? Push comes to shove. Well, thinking about it again, I'm not sure if any of the clips I've taken are that good, but instead of having like 10 minutes of a train going on a track, I could take all the clips and just do a little sample. It's almost like, I can almost say it's like an advertisement for Transport Fever. And it's, you put Transport Fever and close view, first person view, whatever. And you just upload that, and again, it's just a thing. It's the feeling you get when you just click on finished uploading and you've got it there. And you put a nice thumbnail on it and then you play it for the first time. That's a nice feeling. Also, I think it would be nice to perhaps do a tutorial. So many people have done tutorials on it, but I don't think enough people have done tutorials on the basics. Well, you could say this is a video for real beginners. I was like that myself a week or two ago. This is my first time ever getting this game. I have been playing SimCity, the one from 2013, for years because I love that game. I played City Skylines for about 2 weeks and got incredibly bored of it. It's really not for me because I'm not really into just city building. I want to have something to do. I want to have some objectives, not just be trying to aimlessly build a city. It's very windy. Very windy here. Let's put that there. Put my hat over the microphone. My Puma hat. A windbreak. Yeah, I could do that. And go through stuff slowly. Just do an hour. This is an hour video for people who just who may have just got this game. Sure, a lot of people during the lockdown all over the place have probably tried some games for the first time, and me, I tried this the first time I tried this. And I've been playing this for a while, and it's got some great points and some not so good points. Now, the thing that I really like about this game is that you can zoom in all the way to street level, and then and you can do this with every single piece on the map, every lorry, every car, and this just appeals to me because there's something relaxing about going for a spin on the place, your own map that you're kind of where you're designing your own transport system. So if I go down here, turn off this, like you got this 1950s car. I'm going to go through this setup first. Again, I'm going to go through this just in case people have just got this game. You may, in the lockdown, you may have come across it and say, I'll give it a shot. And to be honest, I tried to find tutorials for this game. Simple things like how do I lay a track properly, or how does the signals work. And there are tutorials out there, but I have to say a lot of the ones I looked at, first of all, they can be like 15 minutes long, because although someone says a tutorial, they're playing the game, you know. They're doing a playthrough, and if I want to find out a piece of information, I don't want to watch a video for 15 minutes. Secondly, some of the tutorials I watched just explain what the game says on the back of the box. It's kind of pointless, but they go so quick. Oh, they rattle off stuff so quick, and they completely overlook stuff that they probably find too obvious. And so I had difficulty pass these people. That's the guy that passed me playing the music earlier on. He's with the girl who has a baby strapped to her. I kind of assume he's the dad. If he's not, he's very close to her when he's walking. That's one of those times when you meet a guy like that. I don't know whether it's the way he went past me or something, a subtle energy, but I don't think I like him. I haven't even seen his face, but just the instinct is of kind of a bit of a monkey. Trust my instincts. Anyway, so there's a two things I could do. You do a nice slow hour-long video and you just do it your way, you don't plan it or anything, and you just try and talk about some of the stuff that a beginner might not know. Because that's going to engage you for an hour, I have a feeling. And it's not difficult, it'll just kind of flow, but it's engaging, and it's not really playing the game, it's something different. You can leave playing the game to this evening. So that's what I suggest. And like we said, the other thing is you take the clips you've got and you put together something, just let yourself go. And there's also the Terry Wogan thing, which I'd like to upload. I'd like to upload it to Quint. Or I could upload it to my own Opinion Day channel. Could even check for the songs that, if it is kind of completely blocked, I could just check for the songs and then take those out so that at least it can be seen. These are all kind of useless tasks, but most tasks we do are kind of useless. But it's going to breeze you nice calmly through the day. And that's really all you want. That's all you need. I'm home, I'm going up the steps. Got 2 cos lead that I left in the garden. There he is, looking out the door. Little fella! I was gone for 20 minutes, wasn't I? Wee! I wasn't gone that long, was I? Wasn't gone that long, was I? Huh? Already? That's a good boy. That's my boy. Yeah, it's now dinner time for 2 cos, isn't it? So that's about all for now. I've done my vlog. We'll just get a last word from Flo. What do you think about it all?
That's great.
And there you go. That's great, and that's really the words of the top guru. We told her to condense life down into 2 words, and that is probably the most spiritual sentence of all time. What is the meaning of life? That's great. Thank you. Over now. Tuko. Do you want to say something, Tuko? No, he doesn't.